At 21, I had just finished uni, eyes wide, ready to take on the world. At 22, I just landed my first real job. At 23, I felt more unsure of life than ever. I was lost. At 24, well, let me explain. This is the story of a supposed to be dentist, doctor, turned content creator. Sorry, Mom. Perhaps my favorite quote hails from none other than actor Jim Carrey, who once said,
was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
I would think about this almost daily when at my corporate job, and as much as I loved that quote, I was too scared to ever put in action. Listen, if you're expecting a reckless, rags to riches story, think again. This is the story of someone who initially played it safe and was so scared to go after what he really, really wanted in life. Toilet paper on the floor, cold office rooms, and no natural sunlight was the norm at my office job, not to mention the ungodly traffic during rush hour. I didn't hate my life, but I hated the soul-sucking nothingness of a routine that didn't fulfill me. On a random late night in my studio apartment, I was sitting looking for ways to make a couple extra $1,000s online. Despite my success at corporate, I was still very much living paycheck to paycheck. My rent was already eating up 50% of my monthly salary. The phrase caviar taste, McDonald's budget couldn't have rung more true for a person. Despite seeing countless everyday people find immense success with UGC on my feed, I didn't have the courage to start. And this went on for months. At the end of the day, my fear of getting scammed was a masquerade. I was simply too scared to take action. Fast forward to February 2025. I was let go from my corporate job on a random Tuesday.
So I don't really record these typically, but
I don't know, I think it'll be kind of cool to look back on if I'm successful after this, but I just got fired. I never thought of you recording a video.
To be fair, if I was never fired, I don't know when or if I would have ever left corporate. Thankfully, God made that decision for me. It's like a relationship with a bad ex. You know you should leave because there's so much better out there for you, but I felt handcuffed. If it wasn't for UGC, I would be dead broke. Well, the same month I was let go, I had already doubled my corporate salary. I'll never forget the conversation I overheard when I was leaving the office that day. Two middle-aged women on my team were conversing. One turned to the other as I walked by. Man, I wish I could also leave this job. But she couldn't. She couldn't because she didn't have a skill set to support her family outside of her 9 to 5. With nothing but UGC to rely on, I wanted to expand my income streams now that corporate was no longer a thing. I invested deeper into scaling my own UGC program, and I found immediate success doing so. After so many months of friends and family asking me, hey, can you help me with UGC? It just made sense to release my own product. People talk about finding a purpose in life all the time. Teaching and leading others is definitely my purpose. Shoot, I wish I could tell you a fairy tale ending from here and that I lived happily ever after, but what good would a story be without doom and despair, right? As the CEO of my business, I have employees who also have their own unique set of emotions and experiences. I hate to say it, but an employee went rogue, sabotaged my entire business by threatening my team and deleting meetings from the calendar. Imagine that. Life is going so well, right? But God always puts me back in my place and reminds me that there's always going to be obstacles ahead of me. This is life. Listen, I know that the struggle makes me relatable, but let's not dwell on that. Let's talk about the success. Within months of launching my program on January 27th, we were featured on a billboard in Times Square. Crazy. From there, I hit my first 6-figure month, spoiled my family, met amazing people traveling the world from Portugal, Brazil, and most recently Bali.
okay. That's what you got.
Then I'll still beat you.
Best of all, I bought my mother her dream purse, a Birkin bag. It makes me smile every time thinking about it. This is my story, and thankfully there's a happy ending. At 21, I had just finished uni, eyes wide, ready to take on the world. At 22, I started down a path where my schedule would be the same every day for the next 40 years. At 23, after finding success at corporate, I really started to wonder if that's all that life had to offer. At 24, well, let's just say this is just the beginning.